one thing I find with companies, what the posted culture is very different than the culture of how people interact. And there is, our son has a friend last summer, they're going through business school, and they had an internship, his friend had an internship in a financial institution. Day 2, one of the senior leaders came up to Sam's friend and said, "Jacob, could I talk to you for a second?" "Yeah, sure. Okay, and it was an open concept place. And he said, "Could you answer a couple of questions?" Yeah, sure. "How many people here have beards? And how many people are wearing ties?" And he said, "No one and everyone." And Jacob had a beard and no tie. Day 3, clean shaven and was wearing a tie. He fit. And the guy just walked away. And he just didn't say, "Hey, great, thanks a lot," just walked away and you got it. But that's sort of a visual cue of how things are different. But then sometimes about how people lead themselves in the organization are different. And I was in India working with a leadership team on creativity. And part of the pre-work was a great book called Orbiting the Giant Hairball. And it's all about creativity and how sometimes that gets taken away from when we become adults and we start acting like a group instead of acting like individuals. So we're debriefing about this book. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we're all individuals. That's great. Oh, yeah, that's great. And I threw out a question. I said, "So how do you define creativity?" And everyone didn't answer, and they looked at the managing director for him to say what it meant. And that told me more about the culture. But people are saying, yeah, we're so individual. But what they really do is actually quite different. So the cultures, we all have different cultures in the organizations that we support. But each one of them, I think there is a commonality. If people do have some sense of a say about how they drive, what culture they create, they tend to get into productivity. So the question I'd have for you, and we're just going to take a couple of minutes to, if you could, with a friend or someone beside you, given your vast experience of working all through your life and what you've seen in the organizations, whether you've been part of the culture or you've been helping it, why do you think that people tend to perform better when it's in a culture that they've helped to create themselves? So they've given some sort of input about how we work together, what the norms are, how we get things done, what behaviors are appropriate. And we'll just give you 2 minutes if you could have just a quick chat, and we'll see what you come up with. So over to you. Why is it that performance tends to increase when people get involved? Okay, over to you. Have fun.